So Paramount shared the final day with Disney, and they came out before Disney. And boy, along with Disney, did they blow everybody's minds with what they announced. Now, they did talk about the sequel to A Quiet Place, or the prequel, I think that's what it is. I think it's a prequel or sequel. Let me check Variety here for a second. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's a prequel, Quiet Place Day 1. They showed footage for that, or at least an extended trailer on that. They showed extended footage in a trailer, I believe, for Gladiator 2, which I'm looking forward to because I saw the first Gladiator. I own the first Gladiator movie on DVD and Blu-ray. I want to get the 4K on it. But yeah, I loved the Gladiator movie when I first saw it. That came out when I was in Kansas. It was one of the first movies I saw when I moved out on my own in 2000, 2001. And I enjoyed it. I truly enjoyed it, and I cannot wait for this sequel. And apparently this is going to be one of those films that when it gets released later this year, will be released just in time for a nomination consideration at the Golden Globes, Screen Actors Guild, Oscars, Academy Award, if you will, People's Choice, you name it. It's going to be in that category. They did show footage and release a new trailer, not just to people at CinemaCon, but to the public of the Ryan Reynolds family comedy, If, and it looks good. Looks really nice, really cute, if you will. Definitely a family-friendly film, as far as I know. It's going to probably have a PG rating, maybe PG-13, but more along the lines of PG, I think, because of the way it's being presented. The premise, I think, is great. I think it's nice. I think it's cute and adorable and everything. So that's going to be something to look into. I know my mom would love to see that film because that's the kind of film she'd be into and everything. Then, of course, they showed footage from Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And they showed basically Jim Carrey now basically getting what he's been wanting. That's getting to be Fat Eggman. He's getting into the fat suit, if you will. He's back with Agent Stone. And he's teaming with Shadow and everything. They did not tell us who the voice of Shadow is going to be. Eventually, we will find out. I'm assuming they're saving that for. I'm assuming this, guys. They are saving that for Comic-Con. That's what they're saving it for. There's a lot of things they showed here at CinemaCon. They're like, yeah, we'll show you this, but we're not going to show you everything until SDCC. So I've got a feeling SDCC 2024 via Paramount, you guys are going to be in for a huge amount of stuff that was only teased here at CinemaCon. Because, like I said, they showed that. Apparently they showed him, battling out with Sonic on his motorcycle. He has he's going to be using his motorcycle apparently here, or at least somebody's motorcycle. That's going to be awesome. And, overall, from what they said, this has really got the markings of being a great addition to the Sonic franchise, especially if they're planning to make this into a cinematic universe, if you will, starting in a couple of weeks with the Knuckles TV series, which does bleed into Sonic 3. So that's great to hear. That's great to read about and everything. Then they talked about Transformers 1. They showed footage for that and a trailer. And apparently some were making it as a comparison to being more Minions-like, more of a family-friendly Minions-like comedy or family comedy. I don't know if that's true. Maybe that's just how some people interpreted it from what they saw. But it basically talks about the origins of how Optimus Prime as Orion Pax and Megatron as D-16 were like brothers. They were best friends, and basically they go on this journey that Megatron wants to go on and everything. He wants to go on because obviously they're being held beneath the surface of Cybertron. He wants to know, hey, why can't we go up there? And Optimus, being his friend, Orion Pax, I should say, being his friend, is kind of like against it, but he wants to support him. So they go on this journey to the surface, apparently, that they're, I guess, forbidden from going to on Cybertron. And this journey is going to turn them into the rivals of Megatron and Optimus Prime that we know of. So I'm looking forward to it. I think the footage maybe that they were given at CinemaCon is not going to totally match up with what the rest of the film is going to be. Because you don't tell an origin story like this and you make it into a comedy, if you will. You don't do that. I think what they saw kind of gave them that vibe, because you got to have comedic moments in there. But to me, I think, there's going to be more to it. I think there's going to be more than what they were shown. And I think when we get the trailer and everything later on this year, I'm assuming within the next month or two, I've got a feeling we're going to see more than just what they were shown. And mainly, basically, we'll probably get a better idea of what we're going to be in store for, come September, October, when this film gets released. They did talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2. They didn't show footage or a teaser, but they did talk about it. But they did talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a way that fans have been waiting for a long time. They talked about the fact that The Last Ronin, the best-selling graphic novel, multi-part comic, series that IDW did based on a story that Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird wanted to do long ago but couldn't. Now Kevin Eastman, along with those at IDW, did finally do it. Well, they made the announcement that The Last Ronin is getting a live-action adaptation, and it's going to be R-rated. That's right. We're going to have an R-rated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. They're not too sure just yet if whether or not the turtle, who is the last Ronin, who, by the way, bit of spoilers, the last Ronin turtle is Michelangelo. Bit of spoilers there. They're not sure whether or not that'll be a live-action costume via Jim Henson's Creature Shop, or that will be CGI. We'll have to see. But yeah, this is exciting news because, everybody's had this assumption that since Nickelodeon bought the TMNT franchise, and them being basically family friendly, that there'd be no way they would go this route. We as fans and those that thought this got proven wrong, because that's exactly what we're getting. That's exactly what we're getting, going into the next several years. Now, from what I've heard and from what others have reported, it feels like what they want to try to do is get this out by at least 2027, maybe 2026. Some are looking at the fact that if it's going to be R-rated, because the story itself is very gritty, very dark, very bloody and violent, and it's got people that have been known to work, on projects that involve a lot of violence and, mature in darkness and everything. People are wondering if maybe the budget's not going to be so high for it and everything because it's going to be like that. And if it's not, that's fine too. You just want to focus on the story and the character and just do what you got to do to, bring it to life and, give us basically within the span of, I would assume, 2 hours or more, the whole 5-part series, if you will, the whole 5-part miniseries. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they got planned. More details obviously will come out in the months and years to come leading up to it. But this is great news. This is great news. And this definitely helped Paramount knock things out of the park. They did talk about the Star Trek movies they're working on and everything. So yeah, they had a great presentation along with Disney on the last day. I recommend looking up into more of the information. And until